wonderful walkthrough. We're about to get started, so thank you very much.
graduating seniors, School Board Chair Dr. Stephanie Wan, and other members of the school board, Principal Ms. Dawn Rock, and our distinguished KAS staff, graduation speaker Ms. Connie, my wife Debbie, who I've forgotten the first 8 years, soon to be KAS Superintendent, Mr. Ben Pluto, wife Tori, KAS alumni, parents, grandparents, and other family members, KAS students, and friends. Welcome to our 18th graduation exercise. Today we come together to say farewell to you, our seniors, and reflect on your years together at Kaohsiung American School, where you have made a positive difference in so many ways to so many. Often at times when we leave a place where we spend much quality time, we ask ourselves, how will we be remembered? One legacy of this senior class is that you have redefined Think Big, our school slogan. You have far exceeded the expectations for the approximate 3.5 million United States seniors and another 500,000 around the world in English-speaking schools who are graduating in 2017. You will be attending some of the best colleges and universities in the world, including UCLA, Kobe. You have brought our KAS school spirit to the same level of an outstanding American school. Your academic success is unmatched. You have continued our outstanding tradition of excellence in the arts. You opened our athletic complex, allowing this senior class to finalize our new one-of-a-kind campus, and you raised the bar for senior project. Think Big came from Alan Hobson's book about mountain climbing. The name of the book is One Step Beyond. One quote in the book that stuck with me, Laurie Creaslet, the first Canadian to summit Mount Everest, said, and I quote, "I know that if I want to keep going higher, to see the ground I've come from in a better light, with a better view, I have got to let go of things in the past and go for new things." End of quote. I agree. I believe success comes from looking forward, and most self-improvement comes from change. We must strive to be different. We must be willing to stand alone when necessary. It is not only okay to be different, it is preferred. The KAS class in 2017 is different. You have raised the bar for college acceptances by being different. You've improved the climate of our school by being different. You've been willing to embrace change with a sense of wonder and supported your peers unlike ever before, attending athletic events, plays, concerts, and dedicating yourselves to volunteering like you did at a very successful senior project. You've guided KAS into being an American school with 3 A's. You have led us to a higher level, and KAS can now truly be called an outstanding American school. Hobson says, and I quote, "If we can endure the discomfort of being different, we will garner a newfound sense of strength and self-worth. Independence is empowering. It unlocks many doors to greater achievement because it gives us the confidence to know that we can depend on ourselves. No longer are we burdened with the weight of self-doubt in the goals of others. To quote Frost, and I quote, "I took the road less traveled by, and that has made all the difference," end of quote. At times, all of you on stage tonight took a lonely road to get here, and you're stronger because of this. We challenge you to continue to pave your own way when the current road you are on is not leading you to success and happiness. I continue to quote Hobson, "If you know who you are, you can dare to be different. Anyone who has tried to step out from the flock understands that to do so involves a measure of personal sacrifice that may cause criticism from others, self-doubt, and isolation. All of our adventure achievers experienced some degree of difficulty before they saw their ultimate objective and stepped from the crowd. But they overcame their frustrations and grew to achieve an independence that empowered them. End of quote. My challenge for our graduates, the class of 2017, is to be different, to stand alone. When standing alone results in doing the right thing. It is not an easy challenge to accomplish, but it is a challenge that each and every one of you will encounter sometime in your lives. You have prepared yourselves well for that encounter. Do not second guess your strength, abilities, or your independence. Your family, teachers, and friends have dedicated themselves to preparing you for life's challenges. We all know you are ready to pursue your independence and achieve greatness. We know you can and will stand alone, but you will not have to stand alone for long. Because doing the right thing will cause many to soon follow you, and that is what will make the world a greater place. You've started your journey to success at KAS. Now go and change the world. Neil Beidelman, a friend and former student at a previous school, is one of the most courageous individuals I know. He guided people off Mount Everest during a storm that killed many. If not for Neil, all would likely have died. And he became well known due to a best-selling book titled Into Thin Air by John Krakauer, who was one of the survivors of the journey. Neil was speaking to my class one day some years ago, and one student asked Neil, or told Neil, that he was his hero. Neil's answer sums up the true meaning of life, and I quote, "I don't consider myself a hero, but it is nice to hear that you do. I just did what I thought was right at the time. Someday you will find yourself in the same position to make decisions like I did. Maybe it will be in the mountains, probably somewhere else. Remember to do the right thing, and somebody will consider you a hero too." End of quote. During senior project 2 weeks ago, some of you became heroes to the Aboriginal children in the mountains because you did the right thing. You gave back to your community, you cared, and you showed little children how to be a good person. For that, we thank you. I'm honored to be with you tonight here. I'm honored to be your superintendent at KAS for 9 years. You've provided me excitement with your athletic success. You have entertained me with your incredible music and dance, and you've taught me with your challenging questions and intellectual conversations. Most importantly, you have modeled to all of us that good people leave good legacies. You are good people, and you are leaving behind a great legacy at KAS. Like so many graduates before you, I will value the friendship of many of you for years to come, and I will think of you often. Congratulations, KAS graduates. You will now join the elite group of alumni. Please come back and visit us often, and always bring back your smile, your positive attitude, and your can-do mentality. I look forward to hearing about your ventures. Congratulations and best of luck. Thank you.
Today, I will be introducing the two co-valedictorians in our class. But first, I would like to express how, other than academic success, in our class of 2017, there are so many people with unique talents and skills that may be less measurable, but are nonetheless what makes our class truly colorful and brilliant. So for our first valedictorian, you may have heard her before. She's a great speaker and did the introduction for the swimming pool at the grand opening. And you may also have heard her screaming really loudly at a big band concert, or when JJ songs comes up at KTV, or when the main character of a Korean drama is She is also known as the S of J Vibes. And 万回复 Stephanie Wan.
Honorable guests, teachers, parents, and most importantly, class of 2017, greetings. For most of the people present here tonight, June 9th, 2017 might simply be just another day. But for all of us sitting here on stage, this date marks the end of our journey, signifies our last goodbyes, and indicates a transition from high school to beyond. This moment might possibly be the last time that all 75 of us are gathered together in a room. So please, just take a look around you. Try to capture these familiar faces and just let everything sink in. I stand here tonight not to share tips on IB survival. After all, I've probably set the record for the number of classes dropped. But I stand here to thank each and every one of you who made these rigorous years of high school a bit more bearable. Saying goodbye wouldn't be this hard if it wasn't for you guys, and I mean this with all my heart. I'm not going to lie, the IB was no piece of cake. Think about the countless all-nighters we pulled cramming for tests and not binge watching Korean drama nor tagging other people in memes. Am I right, Prudence? Think about the times when we ran from the dining hall to Mr. Buck's classroom. That was probably the only cardio I did this year. And also think about the cups of Americanos, or as we like to call it, Ericanos that we drink. However, never as much as Ms. Rock, or else I would be speaking 10 times faster than I currently am. Looking back, we made it through the days when we had 3 separate IAs to work on. We cured senioritis, maybe not, and last but not least, Kevin Lynn survived falling on his chin after telling us to knock him out. What we have accomplished here cannot be assessed with a mere score out of 45, and what we have learned here has gone above and beyond the textbooks. Friendships formed and friendships broken along the way, realizing that our shoulders have become heavier as we take on more responsibilities. But one thing is for certain. As time flies, and as we move on from KAS, we can rest assured knowing that a piece of us, a piece of class of 2017, will stay here. As Kevin Chu's painting Agent Yellow hangs on the wall of Mr. Buck's room, keeping a watchful eye over all. It is easy to be optimistic on a day like this. However, it is inevitable that there will also be challenging days ahead of us. Let's keep our fingers crossed that there will always be a Jason in college who is willing to share his study guide, and Edwin, our private Uber driver, and a Brandon, who will always be later than you to class. Back on a serious note, I cannot deny that most of us, even at this point, still remain anxious about what lays ahead, intimidated by the idea that soon we will be leaving this place that we have called home for the past 18 years, and terrified that we won't find another group of friends as ridiculous as us. Shout out to Jabites! As we leave behind history and walk into mystery, we will encounter people who will underestimate us. Let them. Let them underestimate you. And when they let their guards down, prove them wrong. Demonstrate our grit and grin. Show that our strengths and unwillingness to quit are forces to be reckoned with. As we walk out of this auditorium tonight, officially as KAS alumni, I have a few wishes. First, I hope that Ivy will finally learn that it's pronounced 冻饭, not 鸡饭. Second, I want Ruby to stop losing her jackets, laptops, backpacks, and basically everything else. And last but not least, I want you all to remember, I want you all to understand that what makes our time here at KAS so valuable is that it does not last forever. What makes it so precious is that one day it ends. However, instead of saying goodbye, I think we should welcome a beautiful friendship that will proceed as we depart. I guess the only thing left to say is congratulations, class of 2017. We're out.
faculty and staff, proud parents, and family members, and the
the beautiful people of the class of 2017. Might I say, you are looking really, really good tonight. So make sure you take a lot of pictures. As was said, my name is Connie, and I'm an Assistant Director of Undergraduate Admission at the University of California, Los Angeles, also known as UCLA. It is truly an honor to be here. I am Taiwanese American, an ABT, and my mother is from this beautiful city of Kaohsiung, so it means a great deal to me to be able to address you today at the Kaohsiung American School. When I told people I would be speaking at your commencement, I received a lot of support from colleagues and friends. It was the first time my traditional Taiwanese father told me he was proud of me, and I almost cried. If you know or have traditional Taiwanese fathers, you know that 1, praise is hard to come by, and 2, even if they are proud of you, they don't verbalize it. When I was admitted to UCLA from high school, he gave me a hug and a smile. When I was going to Columbia University for graduate school, he smiled, but deep down was terrified that I would stay in New York City after graduation and never come home again. When I got this great job as an admissions officer at UCLA, he gave me another hug and smiled because he was thinking of all his friends' kids who I could help. But no, I'm proud of you. Not until I told him about this, being invited to speak at the graduation at the best school in Kaohsiung. All it took was 31 years. My older brother was also very encouraging. When I told him I was invited here today, he laughed and said, "Why you? Did they have no one else to ask?" I narrowed my eyes and stared at him for a minute and responded with, "I'm not sure, but it means I'm here in Taiwan instead of the office, so I'm not going to ask any questions." I know you have already heard this a million times, but congratulations to the class of 2017. You are done with high school. Can you believe it? Did you ever believe that this day would come? For my IB kids, did the last 2 years fly by? Or did you never think you would escape the hole that is the extended essay? And for my non-IB kids, aren't you glad you didn't have to write an extended essay? Well, now you can leave all of that behind. The studying, the reading, the exams, pulling all-nighters. In a few months, you will be entering this magical world of college where you're going to spend your days studying, reading, taking exams, and pulling all-nighters. Even though you'll be starting college, you are still going to be a student, so the reading, studying, exams won't change. What will change are things like your classes, possibly your academic calendar, your location, the people and food, and the best change of all, no parental supervision. You have so much freedom, right? You can eat breakfast for dinner, go to class in your yoga pants, and hang out with your friends until late. As long as you come home with good grades, a diploma, and land a lucrative job, your parents will probably be satisfied. But these goals are easier said than done. It is a process and a journey to get there, where the paths are not always clearly defined. With your new freedom, you now have great power over your own choices. And with great power comes great responsibility. And I need to give credit for that quote to an inspiring curator named Spider-Man. In college, you become responsible for collecting the building blocks that will put you in the best position possible to have the life that you want afterward, whether it's your dream job or the people that you want to surround yourself with. I have learned, and you may have too, that life is full of lessons. And those lessons never end. College is a great training ground to learn those lessons that will continue into your adult life. So today, I'd like to start your training by focusing on just 5 of those life lessons. Learning inside the classroom, learning to work in groups, learning to make connections, learning about the world, and learning gratitude. So lesson 1, learn inside the classroom. One of your goals in going to college is to get a job, but to graduate you have to study. College is expensive regardless of who is paying for it, so go to your classes, study for exams, and learn material. I know you all know how to study. But I do have one piece of advice about your classes. Take a class or 2 outside of your major. In my senior year of college, I needed a last 2-unit class to graduate. Since it was my last quarter, I didn't want to work too hard. But I wanted a class that was still interesting enough where I would still want to go. So I chose screenwriting, where I learned about writing for film. It turned out to be one of my favorite classes that also made me think most creatively. How do you create a scene from your own mind that is fiction, but write it in a way that it could be real? I would write a few lines that would come to mind. Some of them worked, and some of them didn't. Sometimes one idea would sprout 2 other ideas, and those ideas would sprout a few more. And pretty soon, my mind was just running. That process still happens today, especially at work. I am part of a team that helps to train new employees to our office. We're always trying new ways to improve training. So, if you are a biology major with the goal of becoming a doctor, take an introductory psychology course. When you learn about human behavior, you have a better understanding of how to treat your patients. If you're an engineer, think about taking an art class. It doesn't have to be traditional drawing or painting, but maybe even photography. When you have to tap into the creative part of your brain, you learn to think outside the box. If you want to build a successful product or app as an engineer, you either need to improve on something that already exists, or build something from scratch. Either way, your product has to be different in some ways, so your creative thinking skills will be utilized. Lesson 2, learn to work well in groups. When I was in high school, I dreaded group projects. For some reason, it was always my English teachers who loved them. But you know the drill. You get into groups to complete a project that you have to present to the rest of the class. Sometimes your group is wonderful, and sometimes it's not. You might have that one person who doesn't do a lot of work, but talks an awful lot. Or you might have that one person who needs to be in control and refuses to listen to other people's opinions. I was happy to be done with group projects after high school. But then I got to college, and what happened? My psychology professor assigned a group research project. I got to graduate school and was assigned a group project in my education class. And then I started working, and what happened? I still had to work in groups, or teams, as I am now used to calling them. I'm on a team that travels to international high schools to recruit students to UCLA. I'm on another team that trains staff members on reading your applications. When you work in teams, you learn how to work with others to achieve a common goal. The process can happen quickly or slowly, and oftentimes you have to compromise until everyone agrees. But the end result is usually something better than you could have done yourself. Can you imagine if I had to travel to all international schools alone? Or if I had to read all 20,000 international applications by myself? When you start working, some of your goals are on a larger scale, where a team is necessary to accomplish them. So learn to work with others and to do it well. And speaking of people, Learn to connect with others and make friends. And allow yourself some time to do this in college. I was one of 30 students from my high school to attend UCLA. I was lucky to have a few friends who I would be going to college with. During my first year, I became fast friends with my 2 roommates, but that was about it. I joined a few clubs on campus to meet new people, but it didn't work out. I applied to be part of the community events team on campus, but was not chosen. I ended the year discouraged that I had only made 2 new friends because everyone always says your college friends are the ones that are supposed to stick with you for the rest of your life, right? So I tried again second year. During the fall, I applied to be part of a research project for education. It required me to go to different high schools in Los Angeles to collect data. I would usually go with a project manager and a graduate student. I connected well with this new team and we all became friends, even to this day. We met about 10 years ago, but we still see each other, celebrating birthdays, weddings, and babies. One even served as a job reference for me. In addition to the research project, I also joined a community service organization called Alpha Phi Omega. A few weeks into it, I realized this was the experience I had been waiting for. The people were amazing, and I had a lot of fun doing community service with them. My friends from Alpha Phi Omega are a big reason of why I had such a great college experience. They celebrated my birthdays and accomplishments and encouraged me during finals. When I went to graduate school, 2 of them were also in graduate programs in New York City. The 3 of us would meet for monthly dinners, and that eased my transition to a stressful city I have never lived in before. I still keep in touch with some of them today, despite living in different places and being at different life stages. When I asked friends and colleagues what they would have done differently in college, I usually received 2 answers. The first was, I wish I joined more activities or gotten involved in more organizations. They wish they had connected with more people and had a little bit more fun. When people reminisce about college, they usually think about everything else besides their classes. They usually talk about their friends and maybe the crazy things they did with them, because it was the people who made their college experience so memorable. Now, don't get me wrong, I would never tell you to skip classes, but just keep in mind that there is so much more to college than your books. The second answer was, I wish I studied abroad, so learn about the world. For some of you, going to college may be your study abroad experience. That's wonderful. I didn't study abroad, but I wish I did. I think I tried to make up with it by going to New York City. I had an amazing time learning about independence and snowy winters, but it wasn't the same. If you can, I would highly encourage you to go somewhere you have never been before. Bonus points if you don't speak the language. I'm fortunate now to travel for work. Through travel, you widen your perspective of the world and begin to understand different people and appreciate different cultures. You are also humbled to learn just how insignificant you are. In my first month working at UCLA, I was asked to recruit in South Korea. I had never been there, and I didn't understand or speak any Korean. After 4 years, I still don't. I should really learn. I realized when I got there, Koreans don't speak much English. Trying to communicate with taxi drivers was impossible. It was a 3-day test of my independence and survival skills, and it wasn't easy. But I learned a few things from my observations in Seoul. I appreciate that Korea has a lot of pride. Everyone has a Samsung phone and drives a Hyundai car. I appreciate how extensive and convenient their public transportation system is. I appreciate that there's free Wi-Fi everywhere and that it's relatively fast, even on the underground subway. The internet helps the world become more interconnected today than ever before. Global education is important, and if more people educated themselves about the communities and world outside of their own, then maybe the world would be a little bit less crazy. And in this crazy world, I hope that you can look at the good within your life and learn gratitude. For most of you, college is something that is expected of you, but it is still a privilege. There are plenty of less fortunate people your age who would trade places with you in a minute. Your family worked hard to send you here, and you wouldn't be sitting here in a cap and gown if it were not for their support. Graduation ceremonies really are just as much for their parents and families as it is for the graduates. I didn't truly learn this lesson until after college and when I started working. I couldn't have graduated UCLA and Columbia without my parents' support, especially my mother, who encouraged me to go to New York. My father wanted me to stay close to home, but she didn't want me to miss out on a great opportunity. It didn't matter what crazy things were happening in my life growing up. My mother always provided a stabilizing force. She didn't speak English well, but she showed her love by providing me with housing, clothes, shoes, and especially food, because that's how Taiwanese people show their love, right? Instead of saying, I love you, my mom would buy pai gu fan or niuro mian because she knew I liked eating it. Whenever she would visit Taiwan, she would bring back a box of jia de hong li su because I liked it. That's probably why Taiwanese food is so good, because if you're going to show love through it, then it better be good. All my personal accomplishments couldn't have happened without her, and I wouldn't be standing here today if it were not for her. For that, I am grateful, which is why it was especially heartbreaking for me to lose her 4 years ago to cancer. My only regret is not expressing my gratitude enough to her. Now that I have talked a lot about what to do in college, I want to give 3 quick pieces of advice before you go while you're still here in Taiwan. Since I touched on food earlier, eat all of your favorite Taiwanese foods, like gajian, manghobing, even todoki, if you want. I promise you, you're going to miss it. Wherever you will be next year, you won't have easy access to Taiwanese food. If any of you are lucky enough, like me, to live in a city like Los Angeles where there is Taiwanese food, I promise it will not be as good as it is here, and it will be more expensive. So head over to your favorite night market and eat up. Secondly, learn to do laundry. Your parents are going to move to college with you and you'll want to wear clean clothes, so learn to operate a washer and dryer. And lastly, don't forget to pack your harmonica. I've spent less than 2 days on this campus, but I can tell within the first 20 minutes that KAS is truly a special place. I mean, any school where the superintendent buys you a harmonica and sends you on a service trip to the mountains, telling you you have to come back with a song, is special. When else would you have learned to play Row, Row, Row Your Boat, or the Star Wars theme song on a small handheld instrument? Very impressive, by the way. The energy and enthusiasm you have for life, I have felt on this campus, is infectious. Whether you've been here for 4 years or 14 years, I know the bonds you've made here with your classmates, your teachers, staff, Ms. Rock and Dr. Farrell are meaningful. And I hope every time you look at your harmonica, you are reminded of this great place. As a college admissions officer, I feel inclined to end with this. To those who are heading off to their first choice college, I'm proud and excited for you. And I feel pretty good knowing that I work in a profession that helped you get there. But I also realize that some of you might not be going to your dream college. I read some of your applications, so I know that you are amazing students who are heading off to amazing institutions to do amazing things. Just because you're not attending your dream institution doesn't mean you can't achieve your goals. In fact, at the end of your college journey, you may even realize that the college that you are attending may have been a better fit for you. But for all of you, you can't expect a good college experience to be handed to you. If you stay in your room all day, the fun will not come to you. So many people have worked together to get you to this point. You are now responsible for the time and effort to create a fulfilling college experience, so don't waste this golden opportunity. To the class of 2017, 恭喜毕业, I wish you the best of luck. Thank you.
Good evening, everybody, and thank you very much for being here with us. Before I start, I'd like to remind everybody that after our ceremony, the evening does not end. We have a reception with dinner served in our dining hall immediately afterwards, and we hope that everybody can join us there. So keep that in mind. Next, I'd like to say to the seniors. First of all, tonight's the last time I'm going to call you seniors. Actually, in about a half an hour, we're not going to call you seniors anymore, so it's the last time I get to call you seniors. But I want to say that it's been a pleasure to get to know you throughout your years here at KAS, and especially in these last few weeks when you participated in the senior project and in preparation for tonight. It's been a lot of fun, so thank you very much. Tonight, before I get to the awards, though, I'd like to recognize one senior who was not able to be here tonight. Jonathan Shu, a student here at KAS for the past 8 years, faced a difficult decision to either accept an internship in the U.S. or to be here tonight. We, of course, fully support his decision to seize this opportunity, and we wish him well. So let's just quickly give Jonathan Shu a quick round of applause. That's in our program, unfortunately. It was an oversight, but I want to make sure that our student gets the recognition that she deserves. On the background notice that we have the seniors, and indicated next to those who are diploma candidates is a little tiny diploma. Well, imagine getting a pencil and drawing in one little diploma next to the name of Prudence Wan. So Prudence, I'm very sorry that wasn't there, but I promise it was not on purpose. So Prudence is in fact a diploma candidate as well. Okay, now, let's, I'm going to give her a round of applause. We can do that, sure. The first award I'd like to give out is to recognize a student who has made outstanding contributions to community service and service outside of our walls. And this year, we recognize a student who has consistently volunteered for just about every opportunity that's come his way. And more importantly, every time he joins an activity, it's always with a smile and a wide open heart. And for that, we thank you, Jeremy Wu. And this year, we have a student who has been with us for 7 years. And throughout high school, she's been a key organizer for many, many events and always ensures that they are organized and on time and that everybody knows what they're supposed to do. Notably, this year, she's acted as president of our athletic council and has been key to developing school spirit, especially in the use of our new sports facilities. So thank you very much, Prudence Wan.
to a senior who exemplifies the mission of Kaohsiung American School. This recipient is a balanced individual who is a hard-working student, humble with a capital H, works to his full potential, and is involved in many extracurricular activities as a player and coach. Our senior is truly an independent learner who is curious and has a habit of making good choices. He's a global citizen who is very caring and has a positive attitude toward everyone. The Superintendent's Award goes to Kevin Chu.
So our first valedictorian, Stephanie Wan, mentioned in her speech that she hoped I would stop losing my things in college. And while that is not very likely, this second valedictorian, he is always there to help me find what I've lost. He's always very willing to help out others, and he replies to Facebook messages very fast. And I know that a lot of people ask him about homework or questions, especially Willie Lau. He's always sending him Facebook messages to ask about homework. And he also helps with his computer skills when he photoshops photos for birthdays where Prudence can go on a date with Kong Liu, and Erica will be with a lot of carbs. And he also has really great time management. Even though there's a lot of IB work, he's usually done by 8 p.m., which is pretty crazy, but it might also be because there's less to be distracted by in the countryside. I feel like I haven't shown or said it enough or properly, but he really is a wonderful human being, and thank you, Dylan Kroft.
Teachers, parents, esteemed guests, fellow graduates. Gathered here tonight, we celebrate our achievements, united by our friendship, as we let out a collective sigh of relief that the IB is finally over. Because class, we've made it. Graduation. The last 4 years of high school have no doubt been a tumultuous ride, one that we may have at times wished to disembark, but have nevertheless persisted on. In the face of adversity, we did not give up, but grew up. And through our many shared experiences as a class, we did so together. In commemorating our successes in high school, we must also acknowledge there were times of disappointment as well. There was the first failed chemistry exam, defeat at a home game, and rejection to a dance. We may have taken L's, but we always bounced back. We learned to believe in Gallows. The encouraging words of our coaches drove us to persevere. And of course, Daniel Nang's pickup line, which was actually a lemon, got him a date to this year's spring fling. It's true, we faced setbacks. The onslaught of IAs, college apps, TOK, EE, and other miscellaneous acronyms wore us thin at times. But we prevailed to become the group we are today, the graduates, or soon-to-be graduates, of the class of 2017, ready to move on to the next chapter of our lives and take on what lies ahead. As we embrace what is to come, know that though mistakes are inevitable, failure is not. For as long as you're willing to try, as long as you're willing to forge ahead, you have not failed. Never shy away from trying for fear of failure. If you try and fail, it's an opportunity for learning. Or as Dr. Lee would say, a learning opportunity. Welcome these opportunities. Welcome the challenges. Resist the urge to seek refuge in the conventional, because the same opportunity seldom knocks twice. As well, take heed the words that encourage you in your pursuits. For sometimes, the world knows you are capable. The last person left to convince is yourself. It is because of this unwavering support we've received that we stand here or sit today. So tonight, we are reminded to not just say things, but show it. Show your gratitude to your friends, your family, your teachers, your fellow graduates. Be forthright in your appreciation for those that helped you up when you were down, shared with you their Diplomas, and bought you hamsters and other items for your birthday. Because how lucky you are to have such amazing, albeit occasionally troll friends by your side. Thank you, Mom and Dad, for everything. You guys are rad. Aside from the people, we should also take a moment to acknowledge the other constants in our high school lives. From the Facebook memes that expressed our feelings better than we ever could, the senior lunch club, burrito Wednesdays, and of course, milk shop. It was often the little things that kept us going after pulling an all-nighter to finish 3 IAs, but apparently I slept at 8. Though we did still take the occasional nap during 8 a.m. biology. Sorry, Mr. O. Though there may be uncivil times to fall asleep, there are none for giving thanks. Because you are here today because of you, but also because of those that believed in you. Now, the path forward is filled with uncertainty. We'll soon be faced with dilemmas far greater than whether or not we can go to the snack bar and make it back in time for Dr. Lee's class. However, when the going gets tough, look back, not for escape, but for courage. Look back at the ways you surmounted to remind yourself of what you can overcome. Because class, we've made it this far, and we're just getting started. Don't be surprised when Anderson's a head chef of a Michelin star restaurant, or when Victoria has the #1 most followed Instagram account. Don't be surprised when Flora becomes a Nobel Prize laureate, or Ivy the world's leading dentist. Because if one thing's for certain, it's that the class of 2017 is boundless in potential. So while we never did end up making a class hoodie, I know the steadfast bonds that unite us, the class of 2017 together, will hold strong. Years from now, when we look back at all our cringeworthy Facebook posts, heartfelt yearbook quotes, and selfies with a dog filter, we'll be reminded of the good, if not great, times that we shared. In times like these, we'll also be hit with the reality that each and every one of these moments, they come by but once. When gone, all that's left is what we've enshrined in memory. So I hope you've made these memories here ones worth remembering, worth sharing, and most importantly, worth smiling for. Tonight, in our caps and our gowns, we gather to celebrate graduation. And no matter where we began, we end here, together. Soon, the familiarity we've grown so accustomed to will fade away. We'll grow to miss the familiar sights and sounds, from the shutter clicks of James's camera to Yo-Yo's contagious laughter. From Willie's late-night rants in our Facebook group to the sight of Audie enthusiastically discussing math with himself. And though it may be daunting to leave behind this place we've for so long called home, I am reassured knowing that we do so bearing the memories we've made and the hope that we'll one day meet again. So say your goodbyes, but know they are temporary. Stay true. For now, we go gallantly into the great unknown. Dream big, dream beautiful. Congrats, class of 2017, it's been lit.
Graduation from Kaohsiung American School, please confer their diplomas.
Chen. Ruby Chen. Victoria Lee. Ivy Lu. Prudence Huang. Tiffany Chen. Hikari Fujimoto. Yoyo Ye. Wendy Su. Jessica Branch. Emily Kaohsiung Wong. Naomi Huang. Isabel Hong. Nicole Cho. Tiffany Guo. Angel Lu. Kelly Sun. Joyce Guo. Edward Hong. Amelia Edmonds. Cindy Gao. Amanda Chen. Veronica Rose of Sharon Patia Noel. Emily King Yu Guo. Lawrence Tang. Joshua Sun. Patrick Sun. Andrew Yang. Flora Hong. Haru Nishizaki. Rachel Chen. Stephanie Wan. Edwin Huang. Audi Liu. Jeremy Wu. Yolina Lee. Michelle Wang. Amy Lin. Lavinia Lee. Daniel Fan. Brian Su. Cho. Emily Lee. Apple Supasanya. Sienna Merck. Elena Hong. Erica Wang. Ruby Wu. Winnie Liao. James Tan. Constantine Chen. William Gao. Kevin Chu. Kevin Gao. Kevin Lin. Spencer Yang. Christian Fornes. Michael Hong. Giovanni Lu. Anderson Guo. Daniel Chen. William Chu. Brandon Chen. Dylan Kroft.
All right, this is the moment of truth. Please move your tassels from the right to the left. And ladies and gentlemen, it is my privilege to present to you the Kaohsiung American School graduated class of 2017.